Good morning. My name is Reverend Annie Batchelder, and I'm here in exactly the condition I'm in, which is a little strange, a little odd today. So I'm going to read some spiritual flashcards to get me into the moment, to get me acclimated to what is here. And I want to first, let's do some breathing. First, we do some breathing. And when I do this breathing, even though my energy is way up in my shoulders and up in my chin, and I can hardly get my breath down to my low belly, I'm going to try and exhale so I'm completely empty down into the low belly. And then when I inhale, pull my head up, fill everything, and then exhale and let it all out completely and fully and totally until I can't let out any more breath and there's nothing else to release. So chin down, empty. It's safe to be in my lower chakras right now. It's a little bit better. I can go even more and probably should, but I also have to get into this spot where I'm supposed to be and get to the right page. There we go. Good morning, David. Good morning, Darla. How nice to see you. All right, what fun. I feel safe. You guys are here. That's wonderful. You know, life is changing really fast, and I have moments of feeling not safe. And I'm doing new things, and I'm taking some big strides forward, especially with this St. Francis spiritual pilgrimage in spring next year. It's a huge creation, and I totally want to share with everybody some of the interactions with the saints, the land, the energy of Italy that I experienced, and bring in the Akashic Records and my psychic skills and bring you through processes that help you interact with your own past lives and the energy in Italy, whether it is from a past life or it is calling you. But my sense is that many people who will be attracted to this spiritual pilgrimage will be wanting to clear some past lives and bring themselves into the present moment and the strengths and the connections that they have in the present moment in their own authority and their own personal sovereignty. And that is the objective, is to help us all be in the moment. So to that effect, I'm going to read some flashcards. And you may want to repeat these words after me because it's powerful in your own voice. for yourself to hear you saying these things. You are believable to your own self. And you may be overriding some thoughts that are not pleasant, and we don't have to believe every thought we have. I have to reject certain thoughts, like that is BS. That is not who I am. That is not the stand I want to take in this life. So I replace my thoughts. So here we go. Assume a state of sacred waiting. It's easier than forcing my will to succeed. If what I had planned and hoped for isn't happening, I relax and enjoy what the divine is offering me in this present moment. I read these just to give myself a sense of centering, and I hope they do the same thing for you. Here's a reminder. Spirit is matter. Matter is made of spirit. There is no difference. I am of the same nature as that which I am asking. And I think today I would even go for, I'm sort of begging the divine, please align my energies, bring me into the present moment, give my scattered energy that interior safe place to land that's connected with you, divine. This moment is my destiny, and I have everything I need. Embodying my soul's light makes me resilient and less likely to absorb others' energy. And being a psychic, being an esoteric spiritual person, I tend to be a little bit loose about my energy and allow things or other people to merge with me, and sometimes I have to regroup and re-stabilize myself and in my relationship with my soul and the divine. And that is what I'm really up to today. I'm just being authentic and bringing you who I am and what I am, and any gifts that work for you, great. If this is not for you, I wish you well. You're in better shape than me. That's great. Good morning, Lisa. Oh, are we having frozen screen? Well, it's not frozen on my end. And I don't know what I can do. I got a booster for my Starlink. It's right next to me. I'm not having as great a luck with Starlink as a stable product as I wish, and I don't know what else to do about it. Okay. I mean, ultimately, I could invite everybody to do these Wednesday morning things on my personal Zoom page, which may or may not be more stable than Facebook, but I don't know. Here's another one, though. Embodying my soul's light makes me resilient. Oh, well, I did this. And less likely to absorb others' energy. My energy is for me. My energy is sacred. A divine gift that I can choose to share or not share. absorption of others' energy is self-abandonment. Now, I don't know. It's a little judgy. I'm not ready to go there completely. It's a little judgy. So I'm not totally in love with that line. The piercing spark of light deep within my center is the perpetual divine within. The presence already is within me. The presence within is expressed as my permanent atom of light. That makes a big difference. Focusing on my permanent atom of light, I feel the divine within me. I just harmonized with my electronic equipment and with the Starlink connection, just to see if we can get it to smooth out. So here's another one. Obsessing about what happened? Obsessing about what was or wasn't said? Prayer stops obsession. That's what these are. These are little prayers that stop my mind from clinging to a moment that is not now, and what was said or not said, or I should have, or they should have, or all that. It's not now. So I try to bring myself back into this now moment and access my permanent atom of light, or embody my soul's light and connect with the divine. Divine Beloved, I offer myself to you to do with me and build with me as thou wilt. Relieve me of the bondage of self, that I may better do thy will. Take away my difficulties, that victory over them may bear witness to those I would help of thy power, thy will, and thy way of life. May I do thy will always. I see you, Lisa. I just can't carry on a conversation on Messenger right now. All right. Divine Beloved, put my gifts, talents, and abilities to work for you. Divine Beloved, I open to all opportunities to serve you. Guide me in my service to you. It is from the divine within that I receive love, justice, recognition, reward, and compassion. Divine Beloved, into your powerful hands I release all cares and concerns. I place my focus on my oneness with you. I now see only the perfection of your divine design. I hear you, Lisa. It's frozen in a different place. I restarted my phone before I started this day to kind of resettle into the existing connection. I will have this. I'm recording it on Zoom, and it will be on my YouTube channel. And I don't see that that is breaking up or freezing. Um, and I want to go back and see what we have in terms of questions. Let's see. Darla says, update. My house has been on the market 3 months, no offers. I've taken it off the market until next spring. I know Sam said, don't worry, it will happen by September. I'm feeling let down in general. Just want you to know. Yeah, I know. When we get, the problem with predicting the future is people will live into that prediction rather than live into whatever the moment is bringing, whatever is being offered, whatever is present. That is the difficulty as from my perspective and for me delivering predictions. I'm asking the land and the house what is not ready. They're pointing my attention to underground. Do you have a cistern or a well or a foundation issue? Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this. Okay, I can get rid of that. I had started the live at a different time and then it got all messed up and I was trying to organize things getting started, but so I have to get rid of that one. Now, that may mean Lisa and Fred have to get connected to this active live. And so look further up for the screen that's working. So Darla, is there some water underground or anything like that? Let's see. Okay. So like that first card I was reading, assume a state of sacred waiting. And another one of the sayings that my guides taught me quite a few years ago is the divine is in charge of time, timing, and the details. And that means I can let go and just realize the divine's taking care of it. The right people are coming and will buy the house. I will be moving on to whatever's next for me as far as a home base, a location, and to the new perhaps versions of me that I'm trying to create. And I know that that is on your agenda. Like you want to like let this go. Also, it's a lot of property to manage and to keep up and to keep looking tidy and ready for sale. And so, I think it's good that you're taking a break and letting that go, letting things settle. September, I don't remember what the guide said about the month of September when they did that whole forecast for this whole year of 2026, except December. They said we have to live through the whole the first 11 months before they can give us the forecast for December. But I will post that on here, Darla, to see if that has any good information when I'm off the live. I'll be glad to hear. And it's hard to adapt to a new plan of action, but there's a surrender in it. And all you're doing is surrendering to the wisdom and the love and the huge perspective of the big picture that the divine has as humans. Uh, it's we don't necessarily have. Oh, so Darla said, nope, all good. Okay, let me just ask, what else was that showing? It's like it's growing some new roots in a different way, your house. Um, or the trees are growing their roots more underneath the house. And so, even if your house isn't on the market, you don't necessarily have to reinstate all of your energy back into the house. You can be where you are as in the condition, the emotional and mental condition that you're actually in, and keep releasing the house and keep sending it on. And you may even want to do it this way. I'm experimenting with this. Um, uh, Somebody said it's good to create from a place of, or manifest from a place of, it was a memory, like it's already happened. And I remember when the divine had me take the house off the market and then put it back on later, and the right people came to me. Um, I remember when it sold after I took the house off the market and some energy shifted, and then I put it back on the market and everything worked out in my favor. I got a better offer. I got, it went through easier. There was the right people for the space. Like saying it that way. Um, let's see. And, the rest of this card says, if what I'd hoped and planned isn't happening, I relax what the divine is offering in the present moment. I think that really applies. Um, let's see. Stephanie says, can the Akashic Records give us direction about the many fires burning all over the Western United States? It feels excessive. I know I'm not in danger, but many are. Yeah, I totally understand that. My best friend is up in Eastern Washington, and she's surrounded by fires. And, this happens some years, and actually it's been happening most years for the last, I don't know, 7, 8, 10 years. And it feels threatening. I'm just looking into the energy of the earth and why all the fires. Mother Earth is stating that if this administration wants to go in and log, she's going to burn it up and take it away. She's going to make it unavailable so that this administration cannot command her to give up her resources inappropriately against her will. She owns this planet. Mother Earth owns herself, and she is the decider. And you're welcome, Darla. Thank you. The Mother Earth reclaims all of her assets, and they are hers. And she says, the people that can have them are the people with the respect. And I know my best friend is getting together with some of her spiritual friends, and they go to particular locations in their area, which is Eastern Washington. Very beautiful. Her property backs up to, 10,000 acres of national forest land. And they're surrounded by that kind of property, national forest land. And they go to these different locations and they claim this location and activate the energies there within themselves and within the earth in a way that strengthens the land and I think recommits them to the care for the land. And it's a wonderful, wonderful process. I don't understand all the specifics, and I wish I did, but I really appreciate the fact that she's doing that. I think it's a very, very good idea. Let me just look and see if there's anything else. You know, people and things are going to die in this process that we are in. And that has happened forever. That has been kind of ever since we started making records of history and how things went and what happened. Fires, earthquakes, floods, deluges, cataclysmic events have happened on the earth. And yes, we as humans have put way too many carbon molecules into the space, and we're destroying the ozone, and we're causing a certain amount of climate change and accelerating it. And Mother Earth has been here since her beginning as she was created from a lot of molecules from all over the universe and the universes and traveled through space and is still traveling through space on her orbit. And her mission is a little different. And it's sort of like to bring out the movie of history and force us to take the long view of, is what we are doing good for the planet, good for this generation, good for the next 20 generations? Is what we are doing good for our families and the animals and the plants? Is it good for all life forms? And how can I be in harmony with all life forms in a way that puts me at peace with everything that's going on? Okay, so Stephanie says, wow, Mother Earth, I understand that. It makes sense. She says, I can that connection to Mother Earth. Thank you. We need to reconnect with her daily again and again. And I think it's a matter of like honoring, connecting with Mother Earth as I'm honoring my physical self in a way. You know, I am the divine is me. We are one and the same. I am one with the divine. And the same is true. I am Mother Earth. The Mother Earth is me. And I think for women, it is even more of a physical connection, like my ovaries and my uterus all want to be part of Mother Earth because she's the great begetter and the great birther of all these creatures. And, you know, over all of these millennium of bringing forth life, different forms of life in different environments, and allowing that to change according to her plans and so forth, and seeing the perfection of that design. If I can harmonize with that and allow my female gonads to be one with Mother Earth in alignment with her design, then it's not as scary. And I allow the things that are ready to go, and I allow the things that are ready to come. And it's like not having to be in control and being willing to let something of greater wisdom and life viability be in charge. And my job is to blend with it and to go with it. Let's see. Lisa says, my question this morning, good morning, Lisa. How can a beginner tell the difference between receiving guidance from the Akashic Records and simply hearing their own hopes, fears, and imagination? Well, the big distinction is usually my human self comes up with, ah, no, resist, or not that. That wasn't what I wanted, like, not my way. This isn't what I pictured. So what seems to be coming through from the Akashic Records is that, then it might be that you're listening more to your own hopes, fears, and resistances. And well, I heard a phrase last night, always negative thoughts. Always negative thoughts. Something like that. And I do not have to attach myself to them. And I know I'm in the records or in my connection with the guides or my soul and the divine, if what's coming through is uplifting, loving, caring, compassionate, non-judgmental, doesn't make me resist, doesn't add to my fear level. I got plenty of fear. I don't need any additions to fear. It's, I have days where I don't have fear and I'm just like powering forward. But I also have days like today where I have a lot of fear. And, maybe it's the alignment of the stars or something I need to go through, or it's just, my yakety yak mind has gotten the upper hand and I need to like realign it with my greater soul self and with the divine and re-engage with that connection that I have with the divine. But when I'm in the Akashic Records, if it comes through as critical, condescending, condemning, get out, close the records, and restart. And remember that the prayer says, I'm filling myself with divine love. And for the highest good of all throughout time. And that puts me kind of in the Akashic elevator and starts raising my consciousness. And when the records are completely open, I'm now filled with divine love and the records are open. Then my consciousness is sufficiently high enough, my vibration is sufficiently high enough that I can open and step into the records or be in the energy of the records. Some people step into the library, some people have file drawers, some people have a book, some people step into the records. To me, it's just energy and the energy shift that happens when we say a prayer. And a prayer is about shifting the energy. It is a way of connecting. You can connect by begging, by pleading, by asking for what you think you need, by affirming what you need, or affirming the reality that you are bringing into and insisting on creating. And so prayer is a way to shift consciousness, because me and my little world, small, tight, narrow, judgy, resistant, fearful, always resorts to looking at the past. Well, what happened when this happened, in the past? And that's not necessarily the best reference point, And that's why I open the Akashic. I'm going to say I statements. Uh, the reason I open the Akashic Records is it gets me beyond my minimal, narrow, judgy thinking and into this huge field of consciousness where all this information and energy is available, and I can choose to change my state of being. And there's nothing wrong with having hopes, fears, and imagination. And my teachers, Sanaa Roman and Dwayne Packer, always said your imagination is a doorway to spiritual consciousness. And it's through my imagination that I bring in new information. You know, when I had that vision of being murdered on Mount Sabasio in Assisi back in 1800, literally 1800, it it was like, wait, whenever I get that stuff, it's like, oh, was I making this up? You know, I have a pretty good imagination. I always have. But also, when I let it roll, there were so many details that started to match up with history. And I wasn't looking at the history. Daniela was. And, he asked me some questions about it. And it was like, oh, when I looked at that, it was like, it took me another level into the vision that I was receiving and expanded and expanded, expanded. And so there was a level of surrender, of going with what the vision was, and just like for the moment say, I'm going to just go with this. I don't have to marry this vision. I don't have to be this vision, but I'm going to go with it and let that be in my consciousness for the purpose of exploration, and use my imagination to assist me. Let's see. I have another question above in the chat about my daughter. I know the answer is to allow and trust and release my fears. You have above in the chat, I don't know where you're you mean like, I don't know where the question is, Stephanie. Which chat? Are you on Zoom? Let me see if I can find that. It's gonna. I don't see any question in there, so that's. Nope. All right. So I'm going to go back to Stephanie, and let me just look at. Okay. So, Stephanie, what you have is what I call the great backwash. You have set a boundary very clearly, very distinctly, and she reacted. You are not required to make sure, oh, she's going to move back home. So she accepted the terms. One thing my dad did with me, whenever I had a loan, and he charged me interest for the loans, he charged me the interest rate that he would be losing on the money. And he was a math teacher, so he could always calculate all that stuff out. I mean, and then he would print out the life of the loan if I make the payments. So all along the way, then this is the remaining balance that I was paying on. But it was a written document that I signed and that he signed, and we both got a copy. So there was a reference point, and that way it takes it out of the realm of, well, I don't remember you saying that. And you put it in the realm of reality, like these are the terms. and you are agreeing to these terms. And if you default on these terms, this is the consequence. And like that. Yes, you did accept the terms. Okay, so bring yourself back into the present moment. She hasn't moved back in yet. You are where you are. You're in the moment. You're in this present state. Your job is to find all the ways that you can to bring yourself back into a state of peace and connection with Mother Earth, with the divine, with your soul. You know, when I worry, that's when worry is basically obsession, right? It's just repetitive thoughts over and over that are starting to control my entire consciousness. It's rehearsing conversations. It's reviewing the memory of the conversation. And, you know, and it's, if I'd only said this, and I should have been there, or if I, you know, blah, 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 if, and no, I should have, woulda, coulda, shoulda. That's my obsession, and that's my distrust of the divine and her plan for me, for my husband, for my home, for my daughter. And that puts you at a distinct disadvantage, don't you think? And we want to be in this, I mean, my desired state, let me take it from I statements. My desired state is to be in the present moment, at one with the divine and everything that's going on, not in criticism or resistance or judgment or doubt about the moment. And give myself an opportunity to play. Take the seriousness out of it. And that helps take the seriousness out of it. Do something playful, joyful, fun. Maybe, you know, anything to get out of your head, right? Because your head is like, we're gonna think this again, and it's nonstop. And it's like, okay, thoughts, doubts, this entire repeating conversation. I'm going to put this in the lap of the divine. She's in charge. The divine is in charge of time, timing, and the details, not me. And so then I can let go and be in the moment and be in the flow that the divine has me in, this gigantic movement of energy. And I'm just floating on the stream of life. I'm just going along. I'm going to do what's in front of me. I'm going to do my dishes. I'm going to take care of my mother. I'm going to feed myself. You know, everything is going to be fine. My job is to be in the moment and do what's necessary right here. Take the next, you know, moment as it is. Yeah, you like the sense of play. Finding a good family therapist. Okay, now, what do you want out of the therapy that you can't get from the divine beloved, the great creatress, the intelligent master intelligence of the universe? What are you trying to get more people on your side to take your point of view and insist that your daughter be a certain way? So I just keep looking at your motives. It's okay to have wacky motives, you know? It's okay to have that go on. It's totally understandable. It's very human. I want to prove my point and I want this other person to get it. And then say, oh, now I understand. You're right. Well, being right is the booby prize. It's not necessarily the best thing, you know. And so I'm right. I'd rather be aligned with my soul and the divine and in the present moment and let life take me where it will, because I can't see what's coming. I can only care for myself in the present moment to the best of my ability. And let other people be. You know, it's when I'm trying to be graspy, and I'm speaking to myself right now because this is a very relevant question that applies to myself, and I'm listening to what's being said through me. But when I am trying to control all the details and plan out each second of what is coming, I am being inappropriate. It's not my job. I can't do it. I don't have enough vision. You do have the overall picture of the terms of her moving back in are clear. And just keep saying, repeating yourself. She agreed to the terms. That's that. And if you need to have to be able to refer back to it, then put it on paper and get everybody to sign it. And you know, and put it on paper just for yourself. Write it out. Now, women have. I just watched this show on brain function with Dr. Amen. And he says women have a much more active frontal lobe and are constantly looking at what could go wrong here and how do I have to plan for the future and and it's the way our brains function, and that's not really wrong. And it's an important feature. It helps with survival. I think you're just worried. Yes, I think you're worried. And you don't have to rally the troops and get everyone on your side. You have to just put your mind to, you know, in its corner. Like, okay, mind, your job is to sit aside. And if you need to, maybe take some notes, but not to be over influencing me and with obsession and worry. You know. And I know when I'm worried, all I'm doing is creating the future of what I'm worrying about. Because that which I think about most manifests the easiest. So that's a good thing for me to understand now too. Very important. Very important. What I think about most manifests the easiest. These are great questions. I love it that you're here asking questions. I love it that anybody is here, period. And I'm really loving questions. And they're all helpful to me as well, because I woke up a little off. A little off. So let's read another one. And you may want to repeat this. We are perfectly equipped to take the journey we are on. We are perfectly equipped to take the journey we are on. We have the tools, the gifts, the talents, and the abilities within to support us on this path. That just feels good, don't you think? That is an affirmative prayer. That is an affirmative prayer. No begging, no pleading. Make this happen, divine now. You know, not me being in charge. It's really reminding me that I have everything I need in order to get through this moment, this day, this week, this month, this year, and all of that. And, you know, it was most of what I'm doing was predetermined when I laid out this plan for this lifetime. And it was rubber stamped by the divine. So we're in cahoots from the beginning. And I'm learning about my choices. I'm learning. Okay, here's another one. Thank you, Divine Beloved, for changing me into one who is wildly open to life as it is. Let me release what must go and welcome what is here now. I trust you to continue to meet all my needs. Help me today to trust in your guidance and love. Thank you, Divine Beloved. You know, that's a prayer of affirmation. Or it's asking for help, but the energy takes me from the state of being personality driven, which is basically fear and worry and control, into change me, Divine Beloved, into one who is wildly open to life as it is in that present moment. Let me release what must go and welcome what is here now. I trust you to continue to meet all my needs. That's a statement of fact. The divine has already met all my needs, and I can trust that this is going to continue. Help me today to trust in your guidance and love. Thank you, Divine Beloved. We're working on the cards. There's still like, there are some hitches in the process, so we're in this. Okay, Stephanie's saying something else here. We did have a lovely chat last time. It was fun and silly. So it was, fun. You did have joy, but your mind went back and went, uh-oh, dear, uh-oh, what if? And that's fear. Future events already ruined. Whenever I'm in that condition, it is so powerful, and I'm so bamboozled by it, and I'm so caught off center that I'm just sort of like, oh, okay, I'm going to go with the what ifs. And I'm dragged along with that. And that is not necessarily the truth of the matter, or the truth of what is available to me, or the truth of how the divine is taking care of me. Okay. And Stephanie also said, I'm asking myself, all of me, to be on my own side, not critical of myself and others. What a wonderful statement of love, self-love that is. What a beautiful statement of self-love that is. Let's have that one again. I'm asking myself, all of me, to be on my own side, not critical of myself and others. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I really love that. Okay. We're getting close to the end of our time, and I'm wondering if there are any other questions. Anything else anybody needs? I want to thank you all, because this whole conversation has helped me hugely, and hopefully it's helped you as well. I'm always a participant here. One of the reasons I became a conscious channel rather than a trance channel, like, here's my body, you use it, I'm going to vacate the premises. I can't, no. I've abandoned myself enough as it is, or I forget to make sure I am on my own side and connected with my own self. And as a conscious channel, I get to learn from everything that my guides are speaking through me. I am a participant. I'm both the channel and a participant. So it's kind of like, we're all equal here, folks. And the way that you receive these things and the way that you get these things or the way it shifts their energy is very valuable to me and to others and to know about. You know, yeah. Worry. To me, worry is not useful. And I mean, Dr. Amen was saying that it's a necessary feature of the frontal lobe cortex because, you know, you're getting out, trying to get out in front of any kind of problems that might happen. And that's in the world of the personality and the material world, that's a good thing. And it does not supplant the power of the divine as an influence and the power that can shift in a miraculous way any reality in place at this time in my head, in my heart, in my body, in the past. The divine can shift the past, the present, and the future. And what I think about the most manifests the easiest. I think that's a big one for me to remember today. That's my takeaway, anyway. All right. I think that's it for today. Oh, here's one to close with, one of my favorites. Repeat after me. I reside in the Garden of Eden, my spiritual domain, in a state of divine harmony. The divine is maintaining her spiritual universe, and all is well. That's a perfect thing to close with, don't you think? What a joy. Y'all have made this fabulous for me. Thank you, thank you. And I wish you well. Just two things. I'm going to be scheduling a live Zoom call for anybody who's interested in finding out more, like an informational call and an invitation to join my private ministerial association for the purposes of the spiritual pilgrimage to Assisi and learning about the saints there and the energy of the land and our history and history in general, because so much of our modern life was shaped by the Etruscans, the Romans, the Greeks, the civilization in that area. So much of what we are now is foundationally relevant to 2,000, 3,000 years ago. And going to Assisi to explore that, or the Umbria region, was powerful in a way of reclaiming my truth, my sovereignty, my soul, my ability to think for myself, my ability to stand in my power as an equal. Thanks, Stephanie. See ya. All right, I'm going to schedule those Zoom calls, and I will be inviting you to them also. And if you want more information, please don't hesitate to contact me through the chat or through my website, anniechannels.com. Send me a message, a contact message there, or you can text me 415-846-2412. And I will make sure that you have the date and the Zoom link for when we have that call, because they're coming up, and I'm going to do quite a few of them, especially since things change along the way. Especially because things change away. All right. I love you. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye. And folks on YouTube, I want to hear from you. Please do interact. It would be a blessing for me to be able to have some interaction with you. And if this was helpful, let me know. If it wasn't helpful, let me know. Your truth is your truth. I honor that. And I would love to be able to serve you in a greater way, say with a reading. Maybe you want a reading, or you want to know more about the St. Francis spiritual pilgrimage in April and May, early May, late April next year. All right? Thank you.